I'm going to tell you why evaluating the performance of your chat team as a content creator or agency based on chatting ratios is BS. Now, it's easy to evaluate chatting performance based on sub revenue and message revenue, and I think that's why a lot of people tend to do it, because it's the easiest metric. And for a lot of people that don't have the time or energy to do the due diligence, it makes sense to just grab one figure, another figure, divide. But actually, what we've noticed as an agency that are prided on our excellence as a chatting service, you can believe that we've spent a lot more time and effort really evaluating the performance. And what we've noticed is that actually, for the most part, a chatting ratio is not an honest reflection of our team's performance. I'll give you an example on both fronts. Let's say, for example, we have an outstanding ratio. Okay, we're operating at 1 to 25, for example. So $1,000 in subscription revenue, $25,000 in messages and tips. Fantastic to the naked eye. But what we didn't do there is evaluate the knock-on effect of that. Okay, we made a shit ton of money, but at what cost? How are the relationships with the big spenders? Have we burnt any big whales in the process? Did we take 20 grand off one dude and lose him for life because we didn't have the attention to detail and the emotional intelligence to keep him around, which inhibits the revenue further down the line? Did we really risk the account's safety and skyrocket the chargeback ratio? Did we disrupt the relationships with the vast majority of active subscribers, and as a result, the renewal ratio has fell? All of these things inhibit the future revenue. So what you made today is not going to be a reflection of what you can make in the future. And so the 1 to 25 that you just achieved is not a true reflection of the ability of that chatter. 1 to 25 one day and 1 to 1 for the rest will not compete with 1 to 6 forever in revenue. Now let's look on the other side. Let's address a chat team that are operating at 1 to 4, 1 to 3, 1 to 2. To the naked eye, it would seem like a poor chatting ratio, and as a result, a poor chatting team. But what we didn't take into context there is what else they might have done on the page. What happens if they've got time waster spending? If they've skyrocketed the renew? If they've kept people around, rebuilt relationships with big spenders to where they are now likely to spend in the future rather than leaving as they were currently planning to do? All of these things have to be taken into context if you truly want to evaluate your chat team. One other quick tip here is to consider the branding and marketing. If you're branded as an influencer, if you've got 3 million followers, if you're a celebrity, if you're a porn star, you are not going to achieve good chatting ratios. Or if you are, you're likely an anomaly and there is something else to consider. The vast majority of these creators have a much tougher time generating good chatting ratios because it's more of a transactional nature in the target market that they are appealing to. However, if we have a fetish creator or a girl next door, you are almost guaranteed to have a better chatting ratio than you would if you were an influencer, for example, because people are more likely to invest into the content based on there being very few of it and much less competition in the fetish sector. Or as a girl next door, people are likely looking to emotionally invest into building some sort of relationship or connection with you. And we can even go one step further and look at the traffic acquisition channels as well. If you're marketing as a short form creator, producing content on TikTok or Instagram Reels, good luck generating traffic that's going to bring about a high LTV. Whereas if you're bringing in subscription revenue from dating apps as a platform, or maybe even streaming on Chatterbait or something of the sort, then your chatting ratio should be pretty tidy as a result. So the summary of this video is to consider the context, and it's a very similar message that I'm giving you to this video on the screen where I discuss why response times are also bullshit. Because it's taking one metric and evaluating the entire performance based on that. We have to consider the context. Judging performance on one metric is a dumb way to analyze your account performances. So with that said, keep in mind the context that you need to take into account when evaluating performance. I hope that was valuable for you. In the description, we have a link to our chatting service and our free OFM Telegram community. We'll see you in there.